Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland.
There will be lots of drama, that is for sure. The gloves are off.
Jetzt aber Attacke da vorne. Da musst du alles auf den Punkt bringen.
Oh my goodness!
Und da geht einer massiv fliegen.
What an amazing move!
Schöneren Rennsport.
Welcome back to the seaside, everybody. Welcome back to the Netherlands. Welcome back to Circuit Zandvoort. And it is certainly not seaside weather. The rain has been coming down. Unlike Friday afternoon when qualifying took place in lovely, pleasant, sunny conditions, today, very similar to yesterday, is seeing a lot of showers, a lot of strong wind as well. The umbrellas have been going up and down. We had a lot of heavy rain overnight, some big floods in the area. We're just about 20 kilometers from Amsterdam, but we are on the North Sea coast, in the North Sea dunes of the Netherlands. The beach is literally just across the road from the circuit. There is a very brave crowd here, a very big crowd here, part of the DTM package this weekend, who are gathered, all wrapped up warm, with the umbrellas up to shield themselves from this rain. Why are we talking about the weather? Because it is going to be very significant. It was in yesterday's race for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, which was race 5 of a 16-race season, and we saw Janis Stiak take his second ever win in this series. Alessandro Gueretti started from pole position but was struggling with handling. He had a wet patch in front of the car for the standing start and was not able to get out the blocks as quickly as the driver alongside him, which was Janis Stiak. That man there, Robert De Haan, started in 9th place. And what a charge. He came through, fairly robust driving style. He had his elbows out, but he muscled his way through. He reckoned with another lap, he could have won the race. I think Janis Stiak might have had something to say about that, and he's still got something to say about it because he's starting in 3rd place today, just 1 place back from where he started yesterday. He quite fancies the idea of his 3rd win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Driver who finished 3rd yesterday was the Israeli Ariel Levy. He starts in 4th place for this race today, but we have a big contingent of Dutch drivers on the grid for their home race. We've already seen Robert De Haan. Here is another one, Flint Schuring, who starts in 5th place for this race, and he really fancies the idea of getting on the podium for his home race. That's also the case for the driver who's starting alongside him on the grid, Senna van Serlen, another of the Dutch drivers, and he's really aiming high this weekend. He really wants to do well at his home circuit. He's one of the real superstars of GT racing. Didn't have the best of days yesterday, came back from fairly troubled time to 10th place, but certainly looking to put that right today, as is also the case for Huub van Eindhoven, another one of the 7 Dutch drivers that are on the grid. We've also got Cas Havercourt, who is lining up as a Dutch contingent, Emily de Hoos, we've spoken about Robert De Haan as well, and Sasha Norden. There is a name that you're going to be taking notice of. At the moment, there is Marvin Klein. He's had a fairly mixed start to the year. He got a podium on the season over at Imola, but very much a championship favourite coming into the season, but has not really had the rub of the green so far. Alex Tauscher had a fairly quiet day yesterday, and now the pole sitter next up on the grid for the rookies, Sasha Norden. He won yet another rookie race yesterday. He's had 3 rookie wins out of 5 races. He's on pole position for this one. Would love to make it 4 rookie wins out of 6 races. We'll see how that unfolds. The 30-second board has been shown. The engines are running. It has been declared a wet session, so we are going to get 2 formation laps. Really important that the heat is in the tyres. Of course, it's got to be wet weather tyres today. There was an element of not knowing what tyres drivers were running yesterday, I think it's fairly safe bet today to see that they are all probably on wet weather tyres because the rain is still coming down, and this is going to be very, very tricky at this circuit. Getting the heat into the tyres, into the brakes, so that when they arrive at turn one at racing speed, they've got the grip to get all of these cars around. The sound is absolutely deafening as these cars roar off from the grid at the start of the first of 2 formation laps. So this is the opportunity to not only generate the heat, but also to explore where the grip is. The rain is coming down, but it's very light at the moment. So Alessandro Gueretti will be tiptoeing around. He'll be the first one to find all the puddles. We just had a Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux race, which was outstanding. It was well worth a watch if you get the opportunity to watch it back. Just showing how these cars entertain. But now, Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, arguably the toughest Porsche Carrera Cup series in the world. It's the one they all want to win. And coming into this weekend, Robert De Haan leading the points, and after yesterday, by my calculations, he had 15 points over Alessandro Gueretti. Gueretti really needing to turn around the form after yesterday. In second place, jumping up to third in the points, was Flint Schuring with 64 points, and he relegated the Porsche Junior for this year, Theo Overhaus, down to 4th place in the overall points standings. In the Pro-Am, it was Ahmed Al-Shihab who leapfrogged Michael Essmann to go to the top of the Pro-Am points, and it was Michael Schrey who jumped to 3rd in the Pro-Am points. Defending Pro-Am champion Søren Spreng is having a torrid season, another non-finish yesterday, and he's really going to be looking to turn this around in this race. He's 2nd in the Pro-Ams on the grid in this race. In the rookies, Sasha Norden is going to take a bit of beating. He leads the rookie championship. He's got 120 points, and he is 26 clear of Matheus Ferreira, who had a fairly quiet day by his standards yesterday. Joe Warhurst, who's lining up on the grid 2nd in the rookies, fancies a challenge to get a top step of the podium, his first win in the rookie race. Let's have a look at the grid properly here. So Alessandro Gueretti on pole position, Robert De Haan alongside him. France versus the Netherlands. This could be serious. Janis Stiak and Ariel Levy line up on row 2. And on row 3, another Dutch row, Flint Schuring with Senna van Serlen for company. On row 4, Huban Eindhoven and Marvin Klein, another Dutch-French row there. And on row 5 of the grid, Alex Tauscher has Sasha Norden, the rookie pole sitter, alongside him. On the next row, Theo Overhaus, the new Porsche Junior, with Cas Havercourt for company. And on row 7, Gianluca Tucciaroglu with the aforementioned Joe Warhurst from Great Britain, 2nd in the rookies on the grid. Sebastian Freimer, good qualifying from him, has the guesting Daniel Rose for company. And next up, Jan Seifert with Daniel Gregor, another in the rookie race, 3rd in the rookies on the grid. Mikkel Azcona, always impressive, and then the pole sitter for the Pro-Ams, Ahmed Al-Shihab, and they are followed by Keanu Bloom, defending Pro-Am champion Søren Spreng. He needs a good race today. The championship starting to slip away. Emily de Hoos has Jonas Greif for company on row 12, and on row 13, Michael Schrey has Matheus Ferreira. He's a long way back. He needs to do a bit of work from there in the rookie race. Sam Shaheen all the way from Australia to come and race here, and Michael Essmann both in the Pro-Am category, with Wilma Walenstam and Colin Berninghausen recorded a non-classified in qualifying on Friday. He's left himself with a lot of work to do here in this, the 2nd race of the weekend. So the 2 formation laps have been done, so they'll come back to a stop now. Alessandro Gueretti will take his position on pole position. I don't think he's going to have the issues he had yesterday, where he did have a wet patch in front of his pit box, and it was not so much the case on the P2. Having said that, just looking in front of Robert de Haan, it's looking maybe a little dry. Always difficult in these conditions, and of course you have the dirty side and the clean side of the track. Pole position is meant to give the drivers the advantage of the clean side, but in the wet, that's kind of all a little bit out the window. There's Matheus Ferreira, quite a long way back on the formation lap, and a lot of the drivers just exploring where the limits of adhesion are. So we've got a bit of a wait here. The cars at the front are going to be frustrated while they wait for this lot to catch up. It's the final 5 cars on the grid, so we're still waiting for them. So this is going to feel a little bit painful, and now they finally make it onto the grid. And of course, in all this, the tyres are going to be cooling back down again. Not so much of an issue with the wet weather tyres, but we still need all the grip they can get, because we are about to go racing in the sand dunes of Zandvoort. Are you ready? Race 6 of the season. Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany is go. Robert de Haan is not go. Very, very slow out of the blocks. You saw the car jolt forwards, but now Alessandro Gueretti, and I said Janis Stiak might fancy doing it again. He's alongside him. That's Flint Schering, who's gone spinning. Now, who else is that? One of the target cars, I think it was Tauscher. Ariel Levy challenging as well. That was Alex Tauscher, Theo Overhaus. This is significant. Janis Stiak back into the lead of the race, but coming back, Ariel Levy. What a move on turn 3. Ariel Levy to the lead of the race. Second place, Senna van Sørlen. He said, watch out, I'm going to perform today. He wasn't joking. Into second place. What a start. The form book turned upside down. Pole sitter Alessandro Gueretti once again heading backwards. Gianluca Tucciaroglu with damage. Safety car is out. What a sensational start to the race. The form book turned upside down, but yesterday's winner, Janis Stiak, briefly in the lead, but it was Ariel Levy, ever the opportunist, kept out of trouble. This is what he's been doing this year, just keeping out of the trouble and jumping when the opportunity arises. I should think his legion of fans in Israel will be screaming at their screens at the moment. But he's got Senna van Sørlen behind him. So Gianluca Tucciaroglu, such a shame for Gianluca. He had a good qualifying. He had qualified well on the grid, and Alex Tauscher. I can't remember the last time I saw a non-finish for Alex Tauscher. So he also in the dramas. And he said he was very much looking forward to a reset over the summer break. You could see Robert de Haan just didn't get out of the blocks. He can't jump forwards and then stopped again, and he got engulfed by the field behind him. Look at Janis Stiak at the top of your picture. Got his nose in front, all behind. All hell was breaking loose. That's a shame for Flint Schering. Local driver, he had high expectations. That was Mikko Azcona taking to the escape road as well. So de Haan tried to come back. I mean, he's come back to 6th place, but that's not what he was expecting heading into turn 1. There's all sorts of investigations going on. Matheus Ferreira is under investigation for starting in the wrong grid position, but very significantly, Robert de Haan and Flint Schering are under investigation for this incident here. And there may well be penalties incoming. Look at Ariel Levy, though, just bided his time, got down nice and low on turn 3, and this was the cars going spinning. Theo Overhaus, all these drivers, championship challengers, Tauscher as well, all championship challengers, all pointing, heading towards Amsterdam when they should have been looking towards Rotterdam. In towards turn 1, that was the view, looking back from Gueretti. Senna van Sørlen, another one, just kept out of trouble. Right, this is Robert de Haan. You can see it was full throttle, green bar at the top. Nothing less there, then onto the brakes. Now, what happened here? Got to the inside, and it just, did he get a tap from behind? But you could see de Haan was unsettled into the corner. He got into the back of Flint Schering. Let's have a look here. Again, in towards turn 1. There is de Haan on the inside. I think it's Huub van Eindhoven that we're on board with, and that was that little tap that sent Flint Schering spinning Everybody else just tiptoeing around the carnage. Right, Sasha Norden. I haven't even looked to see how he got on. Right, whoa, left, right. That is a Code Brown moment, as is known in racing. And Daniel Rose just say, get on with it, please. That was where Gianluca Tucciaroglu came unstuck. Such a shame for him. Right, Mikael Essmann. That was another of the target cars that didn't get away. I think that might have been Sebastian Freimuth. So he managed to get his way through. Essmann now shown as the leader in the Pro-Am. So he's jumped Ahmed Al-Shihab. This is the view into turn one. Boy, this is sketchy. Absolute car park around turn one. That was Mikko Azcona putting his experience to good use to stay out of trouble. I want to look at the timing screen to see where everybody is, but these replays are compelling. So I'm looking there, and there was Søren Spreng, who once again is recording a non-finish. Søren Spreng, what has he got to do to turn his season around? He thought his luck might have changed at Spa-Francorchamps, but for one race, he has had a torrid year. He is the defending champion. And I think the tie rod / wishbone department at Porsche Spare Parts is going to be doing a roaring trade after this race. Gianluca Tucciaroglu's car being removed at turn one. Right, let's have a look. So, leading in the rookies, Sasha Norden. Second in the rookies, directly behind him will be Daniel Gregor. Third in the rookies, Joe Warhurst, and oh, that's just sad to see. Gianluca Tucciaroglu clearly fairly distraught about what has occurred. Super guy, comes from a lovely family who support him. He's such a talented, entertaining racer, and you can see you hype yourself up all weekend, and you end up with a result like that. He got a 13th yesterday, so he got some points, but it's not what he came for. So yes, the 1, 2, 3 in the rookies are 11, 12, 13 in the race. Oh, this could get fairly tasty. Sasha Norden, Daniel Gregor, Joe Warhurst. That's your 1, 2, 3 in the rookies. In the Pro-Ams, Mikael Essmann ahead of championship leader Ahmed Al-Shihab. So Essmann is 16th, Al-Shihab 17th. Mikael Schrei is 19th, Sam Shaheen 20th. So that's your 1, 2, 3, 4. Jonas Greif is right in the middle of that fight. He might do well to get out of the way of that, because I think Schrei might be coming through. Right, safety car is coming in. I've got one eye looking at the timing screen in case there's any penalties incoming. We have 20 minutes of gloves-off racing to come in the rain here at Circuit Zandvoort. Ariel Levy looking for his second ever win. Senna Van Serlen looking for his first ever win. Janis Diak, yesterday's winner, looking for his third ever win. So onto the power goes Ariel Levy. He's got a good jump. Senna Van Serlen didn't anticipate that well. Out onto the pit straight though. So here they come. Slipstreaming past the pits. Janis Diak takes no prisoners. Alessandro Gueretti was looking fairly downtrodden when I spoke to him last night. Wants to come back. And it is Janis Diak who sails past Senna Van Serlen into turn one, but can he get it slowed down? Yes, he can. Senna Van Serlen relegated, still on the podium, but Alessandro Gueretti trying to get back into the rhythm. Robert De Haan coming back through is what he seems to do best, coming through the pack. But Hu van Eindhoven slams the door in his face, going high on turn three. Robert De Haan always ready to get his elbows out, to get stuck in, challenging on the outside. Around the corner they come, as up to turns 5 and 6 and down to turn 7. A tricky corner. Job done for Robert De Haan, doing what he always seems to be doing, coming back. But Robert De Haan has a 3-times penalty lap for causing a collision. This is a disaster for Robert De Haan. He'll have to visit the penalty box on the exit of the chicane 3 times. He'll have to pass through it at no more than 50 kilometers an hour. This will add the equivalent of 15 seconds to his lap time. This will drop him to the back of the field as they are at the moment. Meanwhile, Cas Havercourt and Hu van Eindhoven are having a teammate rivalry heading into turns 11 at the moment, side by side. Cas Havercourt sliding the back end in front. Here comes Hu van Eindhoven. Back they come, and that's a spinner in the background. Is that Sebastian Freimuth? I think it is, so he's lost it. There's the penalty box at the top of the screen, and there goes Hu van Eindhoven. Hands up in into the air. You can see that he was frustrated. So contact, and he looks like he is beached as well. This may well cause a safety car. Ariel Levy still leads, but Robert De Haan is going to be at the back. You can see the frustration for Huber Eindhoven. That's up towards turn 13, and he is beached. Surely this is going to bring out a safety car. Our race leader, Ariel Levy, Janis Diak in second, Senna van Serlen in third, Alessandro Gueretti. And there is Sasha Norden as well. The leader of the championship in the rookies is now parked up at the side of the track. It means Daniel Gregor up into the lead of the rookies, looking for his first ever win in the rookie race. So Sasha Norden, this is going to have big implications on the rookie championship. We're still on the green flag at the moment, but I can't believe we're going to stay on the green flag. We've got cars stranded around the circuit. We're still racing at the moment on board with Alessandro Gueretti. He is in fourth place, looking to get on the podium. Robert De Haan in the background, but remember, he has got to visit the penalty box. He'd do well to do it before the safety car comes out, but it's too late for that. He will have to visit the penalty box when we're back to green flag racing, and because the cars will be closed up together, that will drop him to the very, very back. Here comes the safety car. We haven't even spoken about the battle of the teammates, the Team GP Elite. I think we're going to have a moderator on that one. Gas Havercourt and Huber Eindhoven getting together. Of course, their teammate, Ariel Levy, is leading the way here as Circuit Zandvoort. So much drama, so much to look at. Right, this was the moment, and in the background, you can see Norden going spinning. That's Havercourt. This is with Norden. So what happened here is alongside Azcona. Now, whether he got a helping hand or whether he just lost it, well, the race stewards have looked at it and said no further action. So they're thinking that he probably lost that unaided. So that is a disaster for Sasha Norden. Sasha, who has finished either first or second in every rookie race since he joined Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany at the beginning of this year. And there, Huber Eindhoven had high expectations coming into his home race. Would dearly love to add to the win that we saw him take last year at Hockenheim, and would love to have done it in front of the home crowd. You can see a little pump there from Gas Havercourt, and it may well be that the stewards will get involved in that one. Right, this is a better view of it. They were alongside each other, and you can see that Van Eindhoven came back onto the track, having gone wide. He's got the gap on the inside, on the outside. It was Havercourt on the inside, identical cars, and tried to shut the door and then went spinning. And the stewards, well, I mean, it's the age-old problem, isn't it? And that looks like Sasha Norden, I think, who is wandering back to the garage. But the stewards will take a look at that. They've got better angles than I have. They'll need to decide whether the position was won or not, whether there was a gap or whether there wasn't. At the moment, they'll remove that car. Robert De Haan in fifth place at the moment. And now the graphic on your screen is showing Joe Warhurst as the rookie leader. The timing screen in front of me is now confirming that. So Joe Warhurst has now been shown as the rookie leader. So clearly Daniel Gregor has had a moment as well. So Joe Warhurst in the Cat C coating car that is prepared by Team Proton Huber competition to the top of the rookies. So this is going to be very, very interesting. I spoke to Joe yesterday. He brought his car here rather than flying out to Zandvoort, and he said, this is the day to take home the trophies because I don't have to put it through hand luggage on the plane. So he said, I want to bring home a trophy. Well, he did it yesterday. He got a second place in the rookies, and he really had high expectations today. He wanted to try and get that top step, his first win in the rookies. Well, he's in a really good position because he's in 10th place. Daniel Gregor, second in the rookies, is all the way down in 16th. in third place in the rookies. Emily de Host looking for her first rookie podium as well. So the form book has been turned upside down. Alessandro Gueretti is past Senna van Serlen for the last of the podium positions. Senna van Serlen in fourth place. It would still be, I believe, his best ever finish. His best up until now was a fifth place at the Red Bull Ring last year. But Senna van Serlen got a lot of friends, a lot of guests here at Zandvoort. Would really like to show his skills in front of them. And he's in a good position to do that. Safety car is in on this lap. Remember, Robert de Haan in fifth place is going to have to visit the penalty box 3 times at no more than 60 kilometers an hour. It's a 50-meter box that is just on the exit of the chicane, and that is going to drop him. He's going to have to do it soon. He cannot cross the start-finish line more than a couple of times in green flag conditions without serving that penalty. Otherwise, a bigger one will be incoming. Right, safety car is in on this lap. No other penalties to tell you about. Leader in the rookies, Joe Warhurst. Leader in the Pro-Ams, Mikael Esman. But the whole field is nose to tail. 12 minutes of explosive action about to follow. There goes the safety car. Right, Ariel Levy, he won his first ever race in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany last year at the season closer of the Hockenheim Ring. Okay, so the Robert de Haan penalty has been reduced to 1 time. It's still a penalty. It's going to drop him a long way. So clearly there has been an element of protest going on. So they've reduced it from 3 to 1 visit to the penalty box. That will be the equivalent of adding about 5 seconds onto his lap time. Still going to drop him a long way back because the cars are all nose to tail. We are back under green flag conditions. Ariel Levy going to be stalked by Janis Stiak into turn 1. Gueretti looks to be struggling for pace once again. Under braking into turn 1 we come. Levy just keeping it calm, no dramas, holding it all together. Janis Stiak with all the work to do to try and get past the Israeli. Janis Stiak has a look into turn 2, then he'll be up onto the bank into turn 3. This is an opportunity for drivers to take different lines. And Stiak getting his elbows out. A bit of contact between him and Ariel Levy. Now Levy coming back. Stiak to the lead. Levy now side by side. A lot of bravery in these conditions. Levy back to the lead. Alessandro Gueretti getting involved as well. A slight nudge on Stiak. Into turn 7 they come. There's a gap on the inside of Stiak. He shuts the door. Levy back to the front. Also in there, Robert de Haan, but he's going to have to drop back in a moment. Senna van Serlen is there as well. Marvin Klein now rushing to join this battle. On board, we see Ariel Levy ahead of Janis Stiak. Alessandro Gueretti now through to second place, shuffling Janis Stiak down the order. 10 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. Still Robert de Haan is yet to serve his penalty. Ariel Levy leading the way. Janis Stiak, Alessandro Gueretti past Janis Stiak. So Gueretti trying to find his mojo after a difficult day yesterday, just couldn't get the rhythm. There is Flint Schering a long way down the order. Right, de Haan into the penalty box. This is going to sting as he sees the rest of the field come through. He rejoins behind Joe Warhurst, so that's going to be in 10th place. So that's how many positions he's lost. So it could have been twice, 3 times as worse as that if it had the penalty that was originally awarded. So he continues out along the pit straight. He's got all the work to do in less than 9.5 minutes. Ariel Levy now with the pressure of Alessandro Gueretti in third place. Yesterday's winner, Janis Stiak, with the fastest lap of the race. We're looking here at that move. Janis Stiak getting into the door of Ariel Levy on turn 3, just bouncing him a little bit out of the way. There's an element of bumping and barging that is permitted, but if the race stewards feel as though it's a little bit too robust, they may well step in. They've had a look at that and they've said no further action. So they have taken a look at it. they say no further action, and Ariel Levy has now retaken that lead. I'm wondering whether Janis Stiak maybe had been a little bit helpful in giving the place back so as to not incur a penalty on board. Mikael Esmond, he's leading in the Pro-Ams, by the way, just in case we hadn't mentioned that. Joe Warhurst, 10th place overall, looking for his first ever win in the rookie category. We know it's going to come. Is this the one where it's going to be? There he is in the blue and black car. The Campsy coating car in 10th place. Right, for the lead, Ariel Levy, Alessandro Gueretti. Now back in the rhythm, now challenging the Israeli into the chicane they come. That is turn 11, round to turn 12. Ariel Levy almost being pushed by Alessandro Gueretti. Then they'll come up onto turn 13, onto the banking. Less than 8 minutes remaining. Janis Stiak there in the background. Marvin Klein is not out of it. And that is Robert De Haan. And it's said incorrect. I beg your pardon. So De Haan, I believe, may have had an additional penalty lap for not serving it correctly last time around, because you've just seen him back into the penalty box. So De Haan, an element of ambiguity on the message on the timing screen. Whichever way, De Haan is dropping down the order. Now for the lead, Alessandro Gueretti had a nose just alongside Ariel Levy. He doesn't want to get too stuck in. Now a similar job to what Janis Stiak did a little bit earlier, trying to get onto the inside. Ariel Levy taking that nice high line, carrying the momentum into turn 4 and 5. It's a blind crest here. It takes a lot of courage to keep your foot buried on it. Some dry lines appearing on the track, but it is very slippery into turn 7. Look at this. First, second, third, fourth, running nose to tail. Marvin Klein not out of this either. He is coming back into this race after a tough qualifying and a tough day yesterday, but he fancies a podium position. Ariel Levy does a good job just making that car wide. Alessandro Gueretti with all the work to do. Janis Stiak, the quickest man on the track, in third place. You can see how close Alessandro Gueretti is getting to our race leader, but Ariel Levy not driving with his mirrors, just looking ahead, staying focused. Can he hold on for another 6 minutes and 20 seconds plus 1 lap? It's gonna be a very tense few laps if he can. Then out of the chicane towards turn 13. Once again, Janis Stiak now under pressure for the last of the podium positions from Marvin Klein, still leading in the rookies. Joe Warhurst in 12th place, so he's had a bit of a moment. I think Joe Warhurst may have just dropped back a couple of places, but he's still leading in the rookie category. Out along the pit straight they come once again. Gueretti looking to the left, looking to the right, but now directly behind, looking behind Marvin Klein, challenging Janis Stiak. And now to the inside, Alessandro Gueretti muscles his nose through in turn 2 to take the lead. Ariel Levy relegated down into second place. Can he come back on turn 3? Up onto the banking they come once again. Remember, every point is valuable. These drivers need to score their points. The main championship leader, Robert De Haan, is somewhere near the back of the pack, having served that penalty. He's in 11th place at the moment, not quite the back, but he's a long way back. This is their opportunity to close in on the points leader while he is caught up in the traffic. You can see Gueretti, maybe the slightest tap around in towards turn 2. And he's through and into the lead. We've got a yellow flag at turn 3, and it's Flint Schuring having a torrid time on his home race up on the banking. The yellow flags will be waving. The steep banking, trying to get one of these things moving, pointing uphill. That'll take a bit of skill in itself, but Flint Schuring's home race not unfolding as he would have liked. So now Gueretti starts to open up the gap in front, but the fight for third place is now on. Janis Stiak has Marvin Klein to the inside on the dry line. Now Stiak challenges Ariel Levy, but he can't make it stick. He goes into the runoff area. Levy retakes that second place. Stiak now off the podium positions. Here comes Cass Havercourt in the background as well, ready to challenge Janis Stiak. Let's have another look here. It was going into the chicane. Levy onto the curbs, a little bit of a bump. Janis Stiak couldn't get it slowed down through the gravel trap. had to be careful, didn't want to get a penalty for an unsafe rejoin. An incident between Robert De Haan and Flint Schuring is under investigation. Well, there's your answers to how Flint Schuring was pointing up towards the sky on turn 3. So the stewards are taking another look at that. Meanwhile, Goretti stretching his legs at the front. The main championship rival to De Haan at the moment coming into this race. Goretti was some 15 points behind Robert De Haan in the championship. Well, if things remain as they are now, that is going to change. De Haan in 10th place, so I think he got that additional. Robert De Haan with a drive-through penalty for causing a collision. Robert De Haan, I was about to say he had that additional penalty lap because he hadn't served the first one correctly. A drive-through penalty, well, this really will drop him to the back of the pack. Any chance of points today for Robert De Haan, I think, are going to be gone because the drive-through penalty is going to relegate him to the back. And now Marvin Klein is putting the pressure on. I said keep an eye out for Marvin Klein because he's been coming through the pressure onto Robert De Haan. So Marvin Klein there, Ariel Levy, beg your pardon, from Marvin Klein. Janis Stiak there as well. Cas Havercourt, Senna van Serlen in 6th place. Hold it together for another 2.5 minutes. There we go. Ariel Levy in 2nd place. Marvin Klein in 3rd. So many challenges. There is Robert De Haan, but that drive-through penalty, that is going to take him completely out of the points. In the meantime, Joe Warhurst, now there's your confirmation. Maybe the message hadn't got through. Well, it will have done now because he'll see that. And we'll see the view of that on board. And it was because of this into turn 3, got into the back of Flint Schuring. Schuring went spinning, and the stewards have made their decision that it was Robert De Haan who was at fault. And a drive-through penalty, keeping to the speed limit in the pits, will relegate him a long, long way down the order. Right, 1 minute and 3/4 less than remaining. Take stock, Goretti has opened up a gap of 3.3 seconds over over Marvin Klein, who is through into 2nd. Boy, this is taking some keeping up with. Janis Stiak in 3rd, Ariel Levy has been shuffled off the podium positions. Cas Havercourt in 5th. Theo Overhaus in 6th. Senna van Serlen in 7th. Nicolas Kona, where did he come from? In 8th. De Haan temporarily in 9th. But so Ariel Levy has been shuffled back. Marvin Klein is the man on a mission. But time is running out to do anything about Alessandro Goretti. Janis Stiak, yesterday's winner, the last of the podium positions. In the rookies, Joe Warhurst leads from Daniel Gregor, and Emily de Host looking for her first podium in the rookies. In the Pro-Ams, Mikael Esman leads Mikael Schrei and Ahmed Al-Shihab. 40 seconds remaining. Oh, we could keep this going for another hour. It's so entertaining. Here's Theo Overhaus pressuring Cas Havercourt for 5th place. So where's our race leader at the moment? Goretti with the fastest lap of the race has crossed the line. So it's going to be what remains of this lap plus one more before we see the checkered flag. And here's that drive-through penalty. And I think the body language of Robert De Haan probably says it all. He'll pass on through. There's Gianluca Tucciaroglu looking on from the garage. And there is De Haan coming through out of the pit lane. There's our race leader, Alessandro Goretti. Now, Marvin Klein's not having it easy. Look at them hustling the cars over the bumps. Janis Stiak fancies another pop at 2nd place. Boy, the sun's coming out here. The drivers are going to have to start looking for the wet patches on the track just to keep the tyres cool. Now, our race leader is up at turn 9, so it'll be what remains of this lap, plus the one more. So Goretti looking comfortable, 4.7 seconds ahead. A little helping hand from Theo Overhaus into the back of Cas Havercourt. So Havercourt in 5th place at the moment. 4.7 seconds is the gap between Goretti and Klein. So it's going to take a mistake or a problem for Goretti for that gap to come down with just over 1 lap remaining, but is all to play for further back. There is no doubt. Overhaus really looking impatient. And there it looks like a spinner. That's Mikael Azcona. Has a bit of a moment out of the chicane. He puts it into gear, regathers it up. Cas Havercourt holding on to that 5th place. Theo Overhaus ducks to the inside. In the background, Senna van Serloon ready to jump if these two cars get together. But there's only 1 lap remaining of this race. Total entertainment from Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany here at Zandvoort. And starting his final lap, Alessandro Gueretti. But the fights for the positions further back, far from over. Finally, Theo Overhaus barges his way past Cas Havercourt into that 5th place. Here come the cars out of turn 3. To Alessandro Gueretti. He won at Spa-Francorchamps at race 1 there, has been looking for that 2nd win. Was looking despondent yesterday when I spoke to him. He just says, I cannot get any rhythm around here. I just need to do a bit of a mental reset. Well, whatever he's done overnight, it's worked, because it's more than a mental reset, because he's leading Marvin Klein by over 5 seconds after what has been a spectacular race. At one point, we thought Janis Stiak was going to win. Then we thought Ariel Levy was going to win. But Alessandro Gueretti said, hold my drink, I'm coming through. And he now leads the way on the final lap into the chicane for the very last time. And he's going to be heading up into turn 13 in just a few moments on the drying track. It is race 6 of the season. What a race it has been here at Zandvoort, because Alessandro Gueretti will exit the corner. And there is problems, I think, for Theo Overhaus out across the line, because Alessandro Gueretti to take the win is Marvin Klein, who's going to come home in 2nd place. I thought that was Overhaus, who looked like he was slowing. Klein across the line, then Janis Stiak. That's the last of the podium positions. It's a voyage of discovery, seeing who's going to come next. So Ariel Levy in 4th, to Overhaus with damage, crawling out towards turn 13 after all that racing. He's not going to get anything out of this race. Across the line, Joe Warhurst wins for the rookies and 8th place overall, his best result of the season. And winning in the Pro-Ams, Mikael Schrei gets in front of Mikael Esman at the closing stages. And Theo Overhaus is not even going to make it back to the line. Clearly damage on that car. This is the race that kept on giving. And there is Robert de Haan. What has happened there? That's on the exit of the pit lane. So much to look at. So many pieces to pick out of this. So a no-point score for Robert de Haan. So what happened there? Well, that was the win. Alessandro Gueretti. I think we're going to be watching replays of this till Christmas, I think, to work out all that has happened. Gueretti, he was so down in the dumps after yesterday. He couldn't turn the pole position into a win yesterday. He's certainly done it today, though. He's back with a vengeance. And that is going to seriously propel him in the points. I'm just looking at that now. That is going to move him to the top of the point standings, because he's going to get 25 points. That'll take him to 105. Robert de Haan is going to have no points at all. He's going to stay on 95 points. Theo Overhaus is going to have no points at all. That's going to keep him on 62 points. Gueretti is back in the championship hunt with a win ahead of Marvin Klein and yesterday's winner, Janis Stiak. Ariel Levy, having led for a while, finally comes home in 4th ahead of Cas Havercourt, Senna van Serloon, Daniel Roos. Great job from him, just getting on with it. Joe Warhurst is a winner in the rookie race from Great Britain for Team Proton Huber competition, taking the top step of the podiums in the rookie race, and in 8th overall, his best ever finish in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. In 9th place, a stunning drive from Mikael Azcona ahead of Jan Seifert. Good job from him. Jonas Greif, another one, keeping his nose clean. Now, Robert De Haan been shown in 12th. I'm not sure that is correct. That would be a handful of points, not enough to retain the championship lead. Second in the rookies, I'd say everything is subject to confirmation. Second in the rookies, Daniel Gregor. Good job from him there. Emily de Hoos getting her first podium finish in the rookies as she finishes in 16th place overall. I think there's a lot of bones to pick out of that one. And a lot subject to confirmation. I would say just keep your eyes on the socials and on the websites to see what the score is. Ariel Levy, third in the championship according to that. Thank you for the driver classifications there from our graphics team. Because if you haven't noticed, I've got a clue what's going on here at the moment. So much drama. And I think the stewards have not quite finished yet either. There's Marvin Klein. That's second place. He had to work for that, didn't he? So that's his best result of the season. Of course, we saw him take his only win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany last year at the Hungaroring. Janis Stiak, man on a mission this weekend. Did for a while look like he was going to get his third win, but in the end, it was going to be third place, but still valuable points. The target competition car, combined with Janis Stiak, proving to be a good combination. He was in a target competition car last year. This year, he's in a Proton Hubert competition car, and he takes second place. Marvin Klein, points for France in second place, and Alessandro Gueretti for Schumacher CLRT, who know how to prepare a rocket ship. And with Alessandro Gueretti, last year and this year's Porsche Junior at the wheel, proving to be the car and the driver combination that comes out on top. Right, well, I'm going to take a bit of scrolling through the message screen. I'm dared look away from my live screen, but now I'm having a look. Right, incident involving Theo Overhaus, no further action. Incident between Cas Havercourt and Theo Overhaus, which is a separate one, no further action. Incident between Flint Schuring and Robert De Haan. Well, we saw what happened there. Incidents we've already mentioned between Janis Stiak and Ariel Levy. I think that's everything at the moment. So Robert De Haan, I believe his penalty, 3 penalty laps he had earlier on was reduced to 1, but then he didn't take it correctly, so had another one. So I think De Haan may well be sitting down for a coffee with the race stewards after this, because they've probably got quite a lot to discuss. But our focus, well, let's just have a look at the Pro-Ams. That car on the left there is of Søren Spreng, the driver who won the Pro-Am Championship last year and won it the year before as well. But his defense has really fallen flat at the moment, and he's going to need an awful lot of luck. The next round for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany is going to present an altogether different challenge for these drivers, because for the first time since 2019, we are going to be heading to the streets of Nuremberg for the Norris Ring, and that really will be a massive test for these drivers. After 6 years, not many of them would have raced around there before. I think Joe Warhurst has, because he was in the ADAC GT4 Germany last year. I think Senna van Serlen has done it in another series as well. But certainly not many of these drivers have raced around the Norris Ring before. And if you've not seen the Norris Ring, you are in for a treat. The lap time is about 40-something seconds, if I'm correct. It's only 4 corners. It's as close to an oval as you're going to get. And Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany is returning there next round. That is at the beginning of July. I hope Porsche have got the spare parts department there. They're going to need an Arctic lorry full of those, because it's a track that claims track rods and mirrors on every corner. But enough of that. We're still in Zandvoort at the moment. The rain has stopped. The sun is starting to poke through. Gueretti has jumped to the top of the point standings after Robert De Haan's stranglehold. for the first couple of rounds. And Janis Stiak fourth in the points, third in this race. Yesterday's winner never shows much emotion, keeps it cool. Marvin Klein, I think he'll be quite emotional about that because a man with so much talent, pre-season certainly a favourite for the title, gets his championship well and truly back on course. But Alessandro Gueretti, after a torrid day yesterday, had a long, hard think about it last night, and now jumps to the top step of the podium. And for Schumacher CLRT, onto the podium comes their representative. And now the national anthem. I cannot remember the last time we had two French drivers on the podium of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. There's Thorsten Rückert, the project manager, custom sport of Porsche Deutschland, presenting the third place trophy to Janis Stiak. I need to have a word with Burkhard, the legendary German commentator, to find out the last time, if ever, we've had two French drivers on the podium. Eric Weijers from Circuit Zandvoort, always an absolute treat to come to Zandvoort. Always, just love it here. Provides great racing, lovely people as well. So welcome. Thomas Illner, Chief Operating Officer of Porsche Deutschland, presenting the winner's trophy. It is an absolute treat to come to Zandvoort, and the weather always plays its part as well. And Schumacher CLRT, yet another trophy for them. So this morning, first thing, we witnessed an epic Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux race. And then Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany said, hang on a second, what's this? Boy, have they entertained. Two races this weekend, both will go down in history as fantastic races in the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. But you ain't seen nothing yet, because we're going to pack everything up. We're going to head from the Netherlands to Germany to the streets of Nuremberg. You have to tune in, because Norris Ring beckons, and it will be spectacular. That is guaranteed. We'll see you at the beginning of July for round 4, races 7 and 8 in Nuremberg. See you then. Bye-bye.